Hello, my friends. Welcome to the podcast. This is episode 536. Choose your life again. So I got a call from my friend Addison, who was calling to ask me what she should do about her job. The job that she had felt led by God to take many years ago. The job she has pursued and poured herself into over those years. The job she has worked so hard to build and grow and create within. And now she feels like she doesn't want the job anymore. And she asked me, what should I do? And I said, well, I think you just need to choose. And her question threw me for the first moment or two. She said, I don't know how to do that. How do I choose? I need to know how to do that. And I said, Addie, there is no how. You simply decide. And that led us to discuss what I want to talk to you about today. Making conscious decisions and the power that has to unleash energy like you've never known before. Or maybe like you have known before, you just forgot what it was like. And here's what I'm talking about. So many of us are living a life that we did not consciously choose. We actually just wandered into it piece by piece, bit by bit, over years of our life, including decisions like what school to go to, what degree to pursue, what career to pursue, what jobs to take, what career path to take, what person to spend our life with, to marry, to be with in relationship, what friends to have, what things to believe about life. So many of these things are not conscious choices we made. They're simply bits and pieces of a sort of mongrel worldview that was assembled for us by the circumstances, the people that happened to be in our life at that time, the pastors, the teachers, the coaches, the co-workers, the spouses, the girlfriends, the boyfriends, the people in our friend circle, our peers. We just sort of picked up this mishmash of beliefs and half decisions. And suddenly we find ourselves in a place in our life where we look around our life and we say, is this my life? Is this what I've chosen? And the answer is no. For most of us, it's not. Now, I feel very fortunate that I'm not in that situation. I'm living a life that I chose consciously. And the fact is, it's been a long process for me to realize this, to understand this fully. But it really came into focus when my wife Lynn and I went to ministry school back in the day. This is like 2008, 2009. We chose to go to ministry school because we felt that's what God was calling us to do. And we decided to follow that call because it's what we wanted. And we felt that it was a want that was good. It was not selfish in the bad sense of being selfish. And what I mean by that is, I believe that rational self-interest is part of God's plan for how life is supposed to work. It's why He gave us free will. We make choices based on what we want, and we build a life based on those choices. And of course, part of my core belief is that God has planted the desires of my heart within me. And as long as they're good and they don't come at the expense of others, then those are things that I'm encouraged by Him to pursue. So we chose to go to ministry school, and we continued making choices out of that decision about my business, about what my business was going to be about how I was going to function, about how I was going to show up and serve people in the world based on the gifts and the talents and the skills I had developed over time. And so much of my life is about conscious decision. We have consciously chosen our philosophy of life, our worldview, our beliefs spiritually and politically and financially, and about our relationship as husband and wife. These are things we've decided consciously. But as I talked to my friend Addison, not her real name, by the way, just to protect her identity, I discovered that she was moving forward in life based on decisions she had never actually made. And that led us to the discussion of conscious versus unconscious decisions. And an unconscious decision sounds something like this. I'm just going to wait and see what the market does and see how the job market is and what happens. And maybe God will send me a sign, and that can be valid. That can be a possibility. But so often that's code language for I'm just not going to decide. I'm going to let the tide, the current, pull me down the stream in whatever direction it wants me to go. I'm going to go along with current events and just go with the current until, as Tony Robbins says, until I discover, oh shoot, I'm in a boat with no oars being pulled over Niagara Falls in a current I can't fight now. That's the wrong moment to have that realization. When we can always choose and decide what we want to do next but doing it consciously makes all the difference. If you're facing a decision right now, whether to start a new business or start a new relationship or end a business or end a relationship or any decision that is obviously a big life-changing decision, if you're at a point of deciding about that and you're putting it off, you're making an unconscious decision of no change, an unconscious decision of just staying with the current situation, the current events, the current in that river, famous tributary that you may be up in a boat with no visible means of locomotion, being up Chute Creek without a paddle is what I'm trying to say. What's a better choice for you is to make a choice, to make a decision. Because every unconscious decision, unmade decision, every passive decision is consuming energy in our subconscious mind. If you're in the back of your mind thinking, I don't like this job anymore, I don't like this career anymore, I don't like this business that I built anymore, it's draining my life instead of giving me a life, but you're just waiting and sticking with it because it's the status quo and that seems easier, you haven't made a conscious decision to stay with it, it drains your energy. It's like having a window open on your desktop, on your computer, or on your iPad, and it's eating up the memory and the battery life and the resources. And eventually what'll happen is you have enough of those windows open and your system will crash. Have you ever had that happen in your life? Most of us have, maybe in the last 18 months or so. A good time to reevaluate and choose this day what is true for you. And if what is true is I'm going to start a new business because I'm tired of the one I'm in, then decide that and then just commit to it and do it. If the decision is to keep the business or the job you have, decide that and do it with commitment. And what you'll discover is when you finally make the decision, it releases all that pent up energy that was trapped in that draining vortex. It releases it into your life to the power to get things done. So making conscious decision increases your power, increases your energy. It generates energy so you can go accomplish new things. That's why when you make a decision to stay in the same business you've been in that's been frustrating you, you find new energy, new ideas, new creativity, new motivation to go make connections and make things happen. And suddenly the business that was maybe seemingly beginning to fall apart suddenly starts to come back together. You get new insights, you get new levels of success, you get new record-breaking months of revenue because you decided, you chose it again. Same for your relationships, same for your friendships, same for the mastermind groups that you're in, same for every part of your life, where you live, how you dress, what kind of car you drive, what city you live in. Just ask yourself, do I choose this again? Do I choose to continue this or do I choose to change it? Every one of those unmade, unconscious decisions you can close the loop on and make a new decision will reinvigorate you and renew your entire life, just like it did for Addison. She made choices that are big, sweeping. She's chosen a new business of her own, a new city to live in, a new way of pursuing the things that God put in her heart to pursue. And she is on fire. And that's what I want for you too. So my suggestion for you is take some time over the next today. Take some time over the next today. When would now be a good time to choose your life again, consciously? Now, that's when it would be a good time. Think of every part of your life and ask yourself, do I choose to continue in this way? Do I choose to continue in this decision? Or am I making a new decision? And make all the decisions. Choose your life all over again and watch the transformation. Witness the power and the energy that is released and experience the joy you're going to find in the life you lead from that day forward. I encourage you, my friend, take a moment or 10 or an hour or a day, whatever it takes to examine your entire life and choose how you pursue it going forward. It will make all the difference. Until next time, God bless you. And my prayer for you is that you would live long and prosper.